Welcome to Popcorn Planet.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending what time zone you're in. I'm Andy Signore. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. Man, we have an important and an exciting... I'm just excited to have this guest here. I'm excited to get back into the Free Britney movement because some bombshells have been dropping over the past few days, and our guest needs your support. I'm such a huge fan of this person. I want to introduce you to this person. I'm not going to bury the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing BJ, that surprise witness. So happy to have her on the show. How are you doing, BJ?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I want to show you so much, hopefully, love, support, positivity today. Because, guys, if you aren't following this movement, Free Britney isn't just about Britney anymore. There's so many things happening. Britney's, hopefully, it seems, fingers crossed, finally getting to the light on her journey. Thank God. Thanks to so many amazing people, and bravo. In fact, I want my applause going because it takes a village, and it took so many people. BJ's, Christopher Melcher, all these people, amazing people out there who've been doing such amazing work to get her to the point she's at. Matthew Rosengart, her attorney. But she's finally getting to a place where she should finally be out of this conservatorship, which is, took too long. However, this whole story has opened up so much corruption about conservatorships in general. And to think that someone like Britney Spears, with all her power and celebrity, got stuck in such a situation and was able to be taken advantage of, not only by her own family, but by the system itself, just... It's such a bigger, broader issue that is why this has become something so important to me and so many people in this movement. Yes, we need to free Britney, but I'm hoping this will shine the light and open up conversations about so many other issues in conservatorships and corruption across the LA court system and beyond. Why did this happen for so long? Who got paid? Who were the masterminds behind taking not only her human rights away from her, but her money, everything? It is just a sickening, frustrating, crazy story, and I know a lot of you haven't really been following this. You've been following us in the Brian Laundrie, the Gabby case, but I hope you will sit down, pay attention, and join us on this sort of update of things because it's an incredibly important story. And what happened to BJ over the past year, and actually now even yesterday to this day, is just so frustrating to me that I want to make sure we are standing up to support her and standing up against these bullies who have this power and have had this power for so long that I really believe if enough of us stand together, we can finally knock them down. Because yes, I know it's Britney bitch, but I believe far more in it's karma bitch, and it's coming for all these people who deserve it. So BJ, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the work you do. Before we even get to the story, for those of the people who are unfamiliar with you, can you give us a little bit of background of sort of your legal background, who you are, what you do?
Sure. So my name is BJ. I am an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of New Jersey. When I got into the Free Britney movement, it was July 2020. I'd seen this like conspiracy theory TikTok, and I kind of set out to prove that that was incorrect. And in that conspiracy theory TikTok, there's this kid who was saying that Britney had no human rights and she was being held as a prisoner and all this stuff was going on. It just seemed impossible to me. So I actually went directly to legal databases to try and figure out how I could debunk this conspiracy theory. And in fact, as you know, you've heard this story before, I was unable to debunk it. And I noticed there were very serious violations of Britney's constitutional rights, as you've covered on this channel many, many times before. And it kind of radicalized me and made me realize that things are not all as they seem in our judicial system. And at the time, I had not even passed the bar exam yet. So fast forward to, February 2020, I had passed the bar at that time, and I started working at a law firm in New York, big, huge law firm called Winston & Strawn. I told them in February that I was making these videos on social media and doing all this Free Britney stuff. They said that was cool, that was fine. I even warned them specifically about Lou Taylor. I said, I'm scared that this lady's going to try and interfere with my employment.
Now, just because I want to stretch the story out because it's a good one, but just for you people who don't even know, Lou Taylor was a person you had made videos of previously as one who was seemingly a mastermind behind this conservatorship. From what I've gathered, she was someone who sort of cozied up to Jamie, Britney's father. There was like a religious connection that they had, and there was even this alleged incident where Britney, this woman, Lou Taylor, according pointing to these emails that I guess have they been proven yet, BJ? It seems like these were from Britney. While she's yet to confirm it, there were emails that sort of showed that Britney was like, this woman's a crazy stalker fan. And suddenly she got in her house and was sort of exorcising demons in her house. And Britney was sort of terrified because this woman went from crazy woman who was just exorcising demons in her house that Jamie, her father, invited, to suddenly managing her whole business when she was under conservatorship, correct?
That is correct. So Lou Taylor, just, so we cover all our bases, Lou Taylor has denied that those emails are real, but I believe that they are real. And, there are these emails that came out that Britney Spears herself referred to Lou Taylor as a crazy lady and as a stalker. She told her lawyer that she might even die if somebody doesn't protect her from Lou Taylor in these emails, right? And yeah, I mean, just a couple months after the conservatorship started, Lou Taylor was in charge of every financial aspect of Britney Spears' business, including reporting all of that stuff that she was doing with Britney's money to the court. Like, that's who was reporting it to the court, was Lou Taylor. And what I really discovered very early on, Andy, was that you couldn't take one step in any direction of this conservatorship without seeing and running into Lou Taylor or TriStar Sports and Entertainment. I mean, they were saying Britney's home address was the same address as TriStar. They were saying Lou Taylor's husband's church was the same address as Britney Spears. Like, there was all of this conflicts of interest. Lou Taylor was not only Britney's business manager, she was also working as an investment advisor at an investment firm where they put Britney's money. And so I started to notice all these conflicts of interest, and we're talking about millions, at some point, perhaps even hundreds of millions of dollars implicated here of somebody's money. And I thought that it was probably Britney's. And yeah, Andy, I was making videos about this stuff because I felt like people didn't know this. Certainly nobody was talking about it. And I felt like it needed to be known.
And you were bringing like what I like to, you talk about this in your video, which I've told everyone to watch. Hopefully you guys did watch it, but you were bringing legal expertise, which there wasn't really at the time in that community. It was nice because you were there going through legal documents. I'll be honest, it's hard for me to go through some of these legal documents. I know a lot of people don't like going through them, but that's clearly something you excel at, right? You love going through, highlighting, and organizing all of these documents that have been coming in.
I love it. I love it so much. And and I saw I got a little bit of flack in the comments here in the chat because people are saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have assumed it was a conspiracy theory." And that's true. I shouldn't have, but I did. But the good part about it is I learned that, I learned an important lesson from that, which is we shouldn't discount people that are putting the news out on social media, like your channel, now my channel, and other people, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, because a lot of times we are kind of getting lied to by some of these powerful media sources that are controlled by people like Lou Taylor or that have connections with people like Lou Taylor. They don't want to talk about their friends, so they just don't report on it or whatever. And it's not like like when people say conspiracy, it feels like they're talking about something that's like impossible to happen. And the Free Britney movement and attacks that I've experienced personally have really opened my eyes to the fact that this stuff actually goes on. And I probably wouldn't have believed that it goes on if it didn't happen to me.
Yeah, well, so anyone who's like, oh, you don't believe in conspiracy theories, well, stay tuned because we're going to prove that she was correct in her theories, pretty much. So now to sort of to tell this sort of broader story, and there's a lot more we're going to get into updating Britney, etc. But I want you guys to get a little bit more backstory in this Lou Taylor character. Now, look, even I always kept teasing. I'm going to talk about Lou Taylor. There was just so much there that I realized, I don't know if I want to uncover this, if I really want to deal with this litigious nightmare, because there were so many people that I saw were getting called out for it. And I wanted to make sure if I'm going to do my Lou Taylor video, I want to make sure I have all my, T's are crossed and I's are dotted. And it never came around because she did. I think she scared a lot of us into sort of trying to be there. And she's so clever and sort of, I'm not involved. There's like one interview you can really find of her where she went on the Today Show, I think it was, where she suddenly was, right as the conservatorship was happening, I'm the spokesman for the Spears family. And that interview was very telling because she gets very religious, all the confirming sort of what it seems, the religious stories that we've heard from Britney, the connection of her sort of taking over, her as a hype man for the Spears family in a time where it was like, hello, somebody, how would you go on TV to hype all this if you weren't in on it? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to be able to go on television and be the front person of such an operation if you weren't in on it. So the stuff that we've seen all seem like, all right, there's something wrong here. But what ended up happening was, yes, Lou started suing people. Lou started doing all the Lucifer, as some of you were calling her. She's been out there. That's why I added the horns. There she is with the horns. She's been out there trying to sort of keep her name and face out of it. And the Framing Britney Spears on Hulu documentary was fascinating. And I think the best really big whistleblower one, because finally people were starting to feel strength. Is like, all right, I'm going to speak up. I don't care. They can't silence me anymore. And one of the revealing moments I remember was, what's his name? The security guy, Don, or whatever his,
Alex.
Alex, thank you. I was thinking the bad guy. Alex was this guy who worked for a security firm who was basically the whistleblower that said, was there. But he said something really telling. Is like, man, they were, they were so excited that TriStar and all these things weren't mentioned in the first documentary. And I believe it wholeheartedly. Like there were clearly a lot of players who have been watching this unfold, crossing their fingers. Will I be exposed or can I get away with this? And so
yes.
the biggest person I feel like that has attempted and so far as trying to get away with it is Lou Taylor. Now, I got to say, we have our speculation warning, so Lou, don't you dare sue me. I want to make it very clear. There's a lot of speculation here. I don't know what Lou Taylor did, honestly, but I have a lot of my own beliefs, and so I just want to put that out there as a blanket legal disclaimer, because Lou, if you'd like to correct something, by all means, call up the show, and you're welcome on the show. I would love to interview, ma'am, so please come and correct anything that I say if I'm incorrect on my beliefs and things that I'm alluding to, but let's get to what we know. The fact is, BJ, you started this law firm job. You went to the legal people and said, look, I do this Free Britney movement. I have called out this woman who many of us believe has issues and has been the mastermind behind it all. She's litigious. She's out there suing. You spoke to the head general counsel of your law firm that you were so excited to start with after passing the bar, and they told you, not a problem, right? Wasn't the quote, oh, this is the least, this is going to be the least controversial thing I hear today, correct?
That's what he said.
And so,
and after I specifically mentioned Lou, right, I said, listen, here's the controversy. This lady is particularly litigious, like you said. She sues people. I mentioned her by name, and yeah, that's what he said. This is the least controversial thing I'm going to deal with all day. Larry, the general counsel at Winston and Strawn, told me. So
you were there, and bravo to you, because you're like, I want to. And so at a certain point, you're like, wow, all right, they're letting me do my Britney coverage. I get to continue to do my job. There's no conflict of interest. Dream job. Woohoo! All power forward. And then what was it? Yeah. 3 weeks later? 3 weeks later, there was an update. Explain what happened.
It was actually 3 months later.
Oh, sorry. Okay, 3 months later.
So that was all in February. And then by mid to the end of May 2021, I got another email from that same guy, Larry, and he wanted to chat, the corporate, quick chat, which is ended up being a 3-hour conversation. But he wanted to chat about, Lou Taylor, essentially. And it ended up coming to light in that call that Lou Taylor had at least attempted to hire a lawyer at my law firm named Stephen Kong. He had just come over from a different law firm in April, and it just so happened miraculously that Lou Taylor just happened to be his client, and he just happened to be onboarding her during May 2020. And somehow someone just happened to figure out that I worked there. And then it just happened to make its way up the chain and back down to me that I should stop talking about her at her request, essentially.
So I'll say it again, speculation. It sure sounds like Miss Lou Taylor might have been watching BJ's videos. It sure seems like Lou Taylor was not a fan of what BJ was putting out there, which was
actually, Andy, I want to just interrupt here. It doesn't seem like that. I know that for a fact because she had sent out cease and desist letters to other creators on YouTube and other creators on social media who were citing my videos. And she was citing them and saying, take this down, it's defamation. Take this down, it's whatever bullcrap legal claim. And so I know for a fact, based on her attorney, I think his name is Harder or something, based on her attorney's cease and desist letters that she was sending out, she did know that my videos existed long before she came to my law firm.
So we know she knows she existed. It seems she really isn't a fan. She's taking them down. It sounds like a rich person, an ignorant rich person. This is like the actions of an ignorant rich person who's trying to protect their wealth because they've made it and they don't want anyone to know why they've made their wealth, and they don't want to actually put their names out there to draw any red flags to themselves or spotlights on themselves. So this woman was really against anyone criticizing her online, it seemed, doing defamation claims, takedown notices, and now suddenly suddenly
suing people too. She's suing people too.
The biggest person, the whistleblower out there who's saying her name the loudest, she suddenly happens to find a lawyer in your law firm, which then prompts the general counsel to call you again. Now, BJ puts this brilliant in her video. I want you guys, mods, you should have the link. Please keep sharing the video. Watch this afterwards. Watch her video. I want her video to get lots of views, so Lou sweats even more. She's going to sweat the most when she finally burns in hell, which is, I know she's going to go someday because she's religious, I assume. Speculation. I don't know if she's going to go to hell. I don't know how that works, but I can only assume, given her religion, again, the actions that she's done, probably likely. But anyway, so she's sweating now in the meanwhile before she goes to that trip. And now she has the gall to try to shut you down at your own law firm. So the general counsel calls you again, correct? And suddenly is like, hey, so who's that woman again that was going to be the least controversial thing? Who is she again? Is that what really basically happened?
Basically, yeah. He said, well, what he said was, have you ever made any videos about Lou Taylor or TriStar? And I said, yeah, a whole bunch. Told you about that lady in particular. Don't you remember? And I don't know if he was acting or if he just deals with so much stuff or he just wasn't taking it seriously at first or what, but he claims to have not actually remembered me specifically mentioning Lou, but he didn't dispute it. He didn't say, you didn't say that. He just said, I didn't remember that part. Which could be true. I have no reason to believe he was lying because Andy, I don't think he really thought it was a big deal when I told him about it.
Sure.
I don't think he anticipated this would happen. So I think he was probably like, okay, little girl, just go on, right? Whatever. Right. You're like, at that point, I don't think I'd even sworn into the bar yet. Like I was just not even a lawyer really officially yet. So he was probably just like, okay, little first year. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. I got another call in May, right? And he said, have you ever made any videos about Lou Taylor? Have you ever made any videos about TriStar? I said, yes, I told you about that woman. And then he said, well, she has become a client of the firm. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if anything these people told me was true. But what I will say is she never contacted me. I never received any confidential communications from her. It seems to me, in this part of speculation, she was attempting to use her money, power, and influence to dangle her client list above the firm and say, if you can shut this girl up, I'll bring all my rich clients over here. Again, that's just speculation, that part. Nobody told me that.
Wait a second. Are you telling me a law firm would put what's right and shove it in the drawer to make money with clients and just get a bunch of... No, law firms don't have... Big law firms would never do that, right? They would never take a huge paycheck and then do what's morally wrong and ignore it to take money, right? No, lawyers don't do that, BJ, right?
I was explicitly told that is what the firm did.
Seriously, it doesn't shock me, sadly, but it's very sad and depressing because that's exactly what they do. And so here you have this amazing person, BJ, I'm talking about you. It's an amazing person who's doing this work that it seemingly impressed them. Like, oh, cool. Wow, look what you're doing. Here they have an opportunity to do the right thing. Great press, great opportunity to do the right thing, actually protect Britney, do some homework, maybe hire someone to say, hey, look into this girl. What is she doing? Should we get in on this and help? Because, man, think all the money and resources they could have gotten doing the right thing in this case. But no. They're like, oh, yeah, this Lou Taylor, some money, great. Let's just burn this dumb little new girl we got. Well, yeah, just tell her to shut up, scare her, put the money, just take the videos down, BJ. Just take the videos down. But to BJ's credit, you didn't do that, did you? You for a moment, there was, obviously concern and scary. This is a big job. But you stood your ground. You said, no, I'm not going to remove these videos.
That is correct. For about a month, 4 weeks, I did disable all of my surprise witness social media accounts. And the reason that I did that was because I was not comfortable deleting any of it. And also, I had asked my firm, I said, am I allowed to say no? Am I really if I tell you no right now, Larry, am I fired? Basically is what I asked. And he said, I actually don't know. No one's ever told me no before. And
bravo. You just told him no. I mean, Mike, what a turn on that must have been for him.
It was something for him for sure. I don't think it's an interaction or an instance he's ever going to forget. But he had to go and basically run and ask the other straight white dudes at the law firm who don't do this type of activism and never have been involved in anything like this, how to handle it. And then, we can get into more details, but the sum up of the end of the story was essentially that Larry he didn't explicitly say you have to remove the videos. But my mentor, who the firm dragged in, Carrie kind of did say, and this is something that I know there's a lot of my followers here. I am on the autism spectrum and I am autistic. So it is that stereotype that we are not always able to read between the lines and get the hint is true for me, at least. And so when she was saying, well, what do you think is going to happen? I literally would say, like, I don't know. It kind of sounds like you're saying I'm going to get fired,
right?
But no one's actually told me that. So is it my job on the line here or not? Because if my job is on the line, that's going to calculate into my, I'm going to use that variable differently in my calculations, right? Like I'm going to make a decision based on whether or not I'm going to lose my ability to earn money. And it never was explicitly told to me, you will get fired. But I took that to mean they're going to find some reason to fire me within the next 6-8 months. It's either going to be because I'm disabled. It's going to be because I talked back, because I didn't do something fast enough, but it will be because I caused this stir. I just felt that. And I also was told by the end of it, Andy, that any post that I would make that would have any potential client in it, and this is an international law firm, one of the oldest litigation firms in the entire country, any post that I would make that have a potential client in it, I would have to pass not only through a direct supervisor, but actually the head main lead general counsel of the entire law firm. And that was not going to be something that anyone else had to do except me. Jesus. So I felt I was being unfairly singled out. I felt like I was being retaliated against. And I felt like I was not going to be able to be growing and nourishing and, learning, flourishing in this environment where I didn't feel like I could trust these people. Plus, there's a lawyer that Lou Taylor has some kind of connection with working in the same. Is he going to be able to look into my files, what I'm doing? Right. Like, I don't know this guy. He used to work at Sony for PlayStation. Like, she's got Sony tie. I don't know these people. It freaked me out. I felt very unsafe and I left.
Well, kudos to you and applause for BJ in the crowd. Throw those emojis up because that takes guts. That takes guts to stand up against power like that and a job and money to do the right thing. And I was always a fan. And I told you so. I tweeted at you, but I chatted at you. But that I was like next level. We got to celebrate this woman and help her make sure that she doesn't keep getting knocked down by these bullies, by these awful people. Now, so you did that, and then add to that last night. As all this is going down, and then I want to get to what Britney's done recently because it's all connected. The universe works in the best ways sometimes, guys. Just stay tuned. Last night, to make matters worse, she did a takedown channel strike on your channel for 3 old videos taken down by Lou Taylor here on screen. This is insane to me. Lou M. Taylor issue. Now, someone could have pretended to be her. I don't know. But you feel pretty confident it's her because, again, you're right. You have to, when you're doing a complaint on YouTube, you are perjuring yourself by the court of law saying, I am this person. And the takedown is issued by her. So there's no reason to believe this wouldn't be her unless someone is lying legally to say they're her. But you're pretty confident this is her actually doing this.
Well, if it's not her, yeah, I mean, you know a little more about YouTube than me. I just got here. But if it's not her, I'm under the impression, yeah, someone lied under penalty of perjury. That's like this is the beginning of a federal lawsuit, essentially, right, is what a copyright claim is. And so I'm ready to go to federal court for whoever filed this, because I know for a fact there's nothing copyright protected by copyright in any of these videos. Right.
And I what's so amazing is they don't know who they just struck, because I can sense you will follow through on that. And I hope you do. And whatever, we need to raise funds for her, something. I want to see this through to the end. Now, the typical what happens here is if she doesn't respond, then it's thrown out and you don't even have to worry at this point. But to file a strike against your channel is a blow against the channel. 3 strikes and you're out. And so the fact that they took it that far is just so despicable. And you're still unsure like what they're even trying to claim copyright to. Like what on earth is she trying to claim is copyrighted?
Well, she's lying and she's a fraud. So I think the thing that she wants, she clicked the box that said other, which is the one where you don't want to actually incriminate yourself for lying and being a fraud. But the issue continues to be for Lou Taylor every time she comes after me is that the facts and the truth are on my side. The facts or the truth are not on her side, right? If the facts and the truth come out, I win and she loses. So she has to kind of stack the playing field, as it were, to silence me. And she is good at this. She has sued at least 3 fans, alleged fans, I don't know, whatever. She settled with one of them to never talk about her again for $20,000. And then she came after me at my work. She never sent me any cease and desists. I've never received an email from her lawyers. I've never received a phone call, text, beep, page, carrier pigeon from Lou Taylor. Everything has always come through these third parties because I don't know. I guess she's scared. I'm not really sure. But I would love to sit across from her in a deposition room for at least 8 hours. That would be amazing.
Oh my God, it'd be so amazing. Well, what was truly amazing was as all this is happening and BJ's, I can't imagine the pressure and stress you're feeling when Amber's team went after my channel and demonetized it. It was just a nightmare. And then luckily I had people up top at some other bigger channels that were able to reach out and take care of it for me. It's the quartering. A lot of people are hate him and his content. It is what it is, but he's been a very good guy to me behind the scenes, and he went direct and found someone to flip it back on, and I'll always be grateful for that, because when someone takes your livelihood away, which it's happened to me before, BJ, but then they take it again, and it is a blow, and these people want to try to knock us down to a point where we feel like we're so kicked down and lost that we give up. But you didn't give up. You kept going. And then to make matters even better for you, Britney Spears yesterday finally named names. And yes, but now we're at what the title of this video is. She now has deleted this post, but I saw it myself. This was posted by Britney Spears on her Instagram, and I want to read it because this was probably the most dangerous animal in the world is a silent, smiling woman. But let's read this. The moment I smile and I realize I haven't in a very long time, my mom gets so concerned and says, "You're acting weird. What's wrong with you?" I say, "Hi, my name is Britney Spears. Nice to finally meet you. Before I go any further, forgive me in advance. It's been 13 years and I'm a little rusty. It was a family business before. It's no longer that anymore. I was born today because I get to smile. So thank you for exiting out of my life and finally allowing me to live mine. Psst. Do I know how mean I sound? Yes. 100 billion% I do. Psst, my dad may have started the conservatorship 13 years ago, but what people don't know is that my mom is the one who gave him the idea. I will never get those years back. She secretly ruined my life. And yes, I will call her and Lou Taylor out on it. So take your whole I have no idea what's going on attitude and go F yourself. You know exactly what you did. My dad is not smart enough to ever think of a conservatorship, but tonight I will smile knowing I have a new life ahead of me." I mean, wow. She's never gone this hard yet publicly on a social media post. But I have to imagine, after all you're going through, to see her say the name Lou Taylor in this facet must have given you so much joy, BJ.
Well, you know, Andy, the way that the timing worked out was I saw this post before I even knew about the copyright strikes, or about the 3 videos being taken down and the 1 copyright strike. And so, yeah, I was like, clapping. And I literally got up off the couch and like did a little sprint around. Like I just like couldn't even contain myself. I was like, it's so validating because it's literally, I don't know, like your age range of your audience, but it's like if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, like Voldemort, it's like you can't say his name. That's
right.
How Lou Taylor has become in the Free Britney movement. Like huge accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers have mentioned her and then got cease and desist letters and then stopped talking about her, right? I mean, breathe heavy. Jordan Miller has had to issue public apologies, and it's like people are scared to even say her name. I mean, people are speculating in my YouTube comments like maybe you got copyright struck because you said her name. That is not free speech, y'all. We can say people's names.
Yep.
Especially whenever they are very, very famous. This woman is a world power. She is a world power. We can say her friggin' name. And so it kind of was like the first time in the Harry Potter movies when someone actually says Voldemort. Like that's how it felt when Britney Spears finally said it. Like, yes, 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 where we're right the whole time.
Yeah, no, huge amounts of validation, and I mean, calling out her mom was also another one. Like, finally, thank God because I've heard so many things about her as well. It's like it was so encouraging to see. Okay, great, we're not all crazy. Yes, everything we've been calling her
Andy,
family out.
Last time I was on your channel, we talked about this. It was like I've not wanted to say anything bad about Lynn, and it's like even last time I was like, I'm gonna refrain because I felt like maybe Britney still loves her mom. Maybe that's the only person who she has. And I know that Lynn is a victim of Jamie. I mean, I believe what she said in her book, that Jamie did all of those heinous things. If you want to go read her book, Through the Storm, you can read it yourself. But for those of you, but this makes me kind of feel like, and then that filing, right? Are you going to talk about that? Because I think this is related to that filing,
go ahead.
don't you?
Go ahead.
So there was another thing that happened last night. There was 3 filings yesterday in Britney's case. 2 of them I made videos on. One of them happened at 11 o'clock my time. So I was just completely beat. I was on live streams for like 6 hours yesterday. But Lynn actually had her lawyer, Gladstone Jones, has filed in this case to collect over $500,000 from Britney's estate. And my whole thing for Lynn this whole time, Andy, has been, you know what? Say what you want about her, but she's paying her own legal bills. She's not asking for money out of Britney's estate. And that really meant a lot to me. But the fact that her lawyer filed this filing to collect $600,000 from Britney's money felt very betraying to me. And I do not think that lawyer should have made that filing. He should have done this work for free before he asked for Britney's money. And again, this is just more lawyers not having the same moral and ethical compass that I do. And perhaps that's just something I'm going to have to navigate for the rest of my career.
Yeah, actually, I think I actually missed that one. I mean, the filings, I know Rosengart's out there filing, he's just tightening the noose around Jamie, trying to force him to really acknowledge the fact that he was illegally recording Britney, as well as also getting into more of the finances. And TriStar, again, back to Lou Taylor. There's so many questions, so much sketchiness, and yeah, and in BJ's video, they even talk about the lawyers like, well, I have it on good authority that Lou didn't take that $600 million, and you're like, and I love BJ. Yeah. Watch the video because BJ puts like, well, who's the authority? Oh, well, her lawyer. It's like, I've learned through the Gabby case, like lawyers are allowed to lie. Like they are allowed to lie if they're not in a court of law. So for a lawyer to be like, yeah, no, he didn't, it's total, the last person I would ever listen to, like ever. And so it just was showing just how these powerful people just get away with just craziness. So the good news so far is that, thank God, she seemingly has this lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, who is on it and is really trying to push this. That's why the story isn't over yet. We need to keep spotlighting it because people like Lucifer Taylor, Pooh Taylor, as some people also we call her, we need to turn up the heat. We need to turn up the heat because it's starting to happen. They're starting to run around with their heads cut off like, oh no, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And the reality is if we don't keep the pressure on them, they might be able to just sneak out the back and not get caught. And no, these people deserve to be caught. They put this woman into a locked her up for 13 years. And got paid for it, and then charged her, and then didn't even give her an allowance that was as great as what they made. It's just horrifying what they did to this woman. What they did to her children is what BJ. That's always, and we've talked about, but that's always what really locked me into this case. Knowing that they were dangling her own custody of her children. It's so heartbreaking as a father, and now I've been through a divorce, and knowing how painful it is to have split time, to have that potentially dangled from you is like the worst thing that can happen in the world to a parent. And knowing how much Britney loves those kids, it's just sickening to me to know that Jamie and everyone was just sort of complicit in allowing that to happen. Money is an issue, but you can never get that time back. And to see her finally coming to that and strongly fighting back, I applaud her, and I cannot wait to continue to help support her and getting what she wants here. But again, focusing on the main event here of Lou Taylor, oh my God, how much? I mean, I was going to ask you how much do you think she's sweating, but I think she answered that question herself by issuing takedown notices in PJ's channel late in the evening last night. That's the sign of someone who's struggling with what's happening to her. Would you agree?
I think she's terrified. And I mean, like I said, I went through like line by line 2 of the 3 filings from yesterday if people want to watch it, but in those filings, Lou Taylor, TriStar, and Robin Greenhill are mentioned a lot. I mean, Matt Rosengart is applying the pressure there. We also found out that there was a deposition scheduled for Jamie Spears on October 20th. So did Jamie actually show up? Who knows? I think probably not. Like, it just feels too good to be true that Jamie Spears has been deposed. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what this kind of bickering in the court documents are about. Like Jamie's lawyer is now saying, oh, Jamie has full plans to be cooperative. And it's like, well, why do you need to file a filing saying that instead of just being cooperative? Do you know what I mean? So I do believe lots of stuff is going on behind the scenes. And I think a lot of it has to do with Lou Taylor scrambling and trying to figure out, like, I feel like she's like playing whack-a-mole across the internet, just trying to get stuff taken down, trying to get people silenced, trying to get people paid off, trying to get people. And even Matthew Rosengart, he included at the back of one of those filings, and that's this New York Times article that you had up. He included at the back of the filings a lot of the questions that he asked Jamie Spears in preparation for that deposition. And some of them have to do with Lou Taylor. Some of them have to do with, tell us about any arrangements to pay any third parties as a stipulation of you resigning as conservator. And that just Lou Taylor rang right immediately to my mind at that point. I'm like, well, who's the third party? It's probably her.
Yeah, a lot is about to be exposed. It was interesting. And by the way, I tried to get Christopher Melcher in here to pop in to congratulate as well. He's just busy. He's away, but he sends his support. He's such a fan as well. But I want to also plug the fact that he made an interesting point. I don't know if you did this too or noticed this, but when we were talking about how did Jamie get to change counsel and to a good counsel, his speculation was, well, that bond company doesn't want to pay the full amount. So it's in their best interest to ensure that Jamie has good representation against this case to potentially have the amount that has to be paid be less. And when you just think of that, you're just like, oh my God, that's so gross. So gross that they're going to defend themselves against all this wrongdoing to avoid paying the insurance, basically, is what it is. And again, speculation, who knows? But when I heard that, I was like, that makes so much sense. Because I'm like, who the hell wants to rep him right now? Well, the insurance companies, they'll pay up the nose for some of these awful law firms that will do whatever it takes to make more money. And
the insurance companies are just another status quo institution that would prefer if we don't be too disruptive, right? Like, it's these law firms, it's the mainstream media, and it's the courts, and it's all these people. And it's like, if you really think about why all their interests are aligned, is because they've all been complicit in this, frankly, in my opinion, trafficking scenario of Britney. And now everybody, including the judge, is trying to go ahead and hide away their nuts for the winter, or whatever you want to pay way to put it. They don't want people to find out what's happened. They want to have a lawyer that's going to be able to seal these records, be able to keep this all hush hush, arbitrate it, mediate it, keep it out of the public eye. But that is exactly how this corruption perpetuates. And all of the people who were accomplices in this, all of the law firms, all of the lawyers, all of the business managers, agents, etc., they all need to be held responsible. And I'm going to be here shouting into the void just until my YouTube channel is deleted, I guess.
Well, that's the perfect time to plug said YouTube channel.
True.
Also, do you have people in the chat are asking, do you have a Cash App yet?
Yeah, I do have a Cash App.
What is your Cash App? I want to plug your Cash App. I like to fight.
I'll tell you right now.
I love fighting against the stigma of creators shouldn't get paid. And I know you've been getting some shit on that too. People are just giving BJ shit left and right. But first off, go check out The Surprise Witness. Has Popcorn Planet's full endorsement. So first of all, do that first. You can go there and support, as I'm sharing the comment link as well. But make sure you go over here. Exposing Lou Taylor is the most. I mean, there's a lot of great content you'll be able to watch here, but I want to make sure we get the ones with her name on it. Extra views.
I just sent you my Cash App on text message.
Oh, okay. And then the Cash App is Surprise Wit. Yeah, okay, got it.
It's like $ Surprise Witness.
Hold on, I'm going to put it on screen so you guys have it. Cash. Hold on, is it here? Hold on. People were asking, and if you want to support her legal filings and everything else, did I do it right? No, hold on. I'm spelling it right. I did it right. Surprise Witness. It should be that.
Oh, it's SUR.
Oh, I spelled surprise wrong. I'm sometimes dyslexic.
That's okay. Most of my friends are.
There you go. There she is. You guys can literally scan your computer screen and you can drop her a couple bucks. It's always helpful.
Oh, is that how that works?
That's a QR code. You open up your camera and you have it on there. And then when you scan...
I
see. With the Cash App, you have to have the Cash App open. And then when you go there, it'll find it.
I see.
Does it work with the regular camera? I'm going to test it myself. Sometimes it does. No, this isn't an actual queue. It's in the Cash App. You can scan it and it'll work. Or just go to Cash App, # Surprise Witness. And you can always find, if you guys, we plug the Cash App here a lot. I make it a sponsor on the show just because it's actually very helpful. But if you aren't already a member of of Cash App, use my code. Here it is. Use code FLLXGHD. And then when you pay BJ, you'll also pay me a referral fee. So Cash App pays me. And we get to both get paid. What a perfect way to support two of your favorite creators right now. So if you don't have the Cash App, sign up at Cash App. Use FLLXGHD to and then you'll get paid. I think they send you $5 if you're just signing up for the first time. You'll support me, and then go pay Surprise Witness some bucks, and everybody gets paid and everybody gets taken care of, and we pay and support our creators. Speaking of paying and supporting our creators, I got to thank, we got an amazing support from Chris Webb, you, Brittany, Dave, Joe, many others are representatives of this BS. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Chris. Hope Albers, awesome to have Andy and BJ together to help free Britney. You both are great. You are great, Hope. Thank you for being here. And Claire earlier said, my 2 favorite YouTubers is the best. Thank you both for all the work on spreading factual
I love Claire.
awareness
I know Claire.
of free Britney. So there you go. Claire is here as well. So thanks to everybody who showed up so far, and make sure to support your creators. So I want to clip this portion for YouTube just so people can get this. I'm going to hang out with BJ for a little bit more, take your questions, and talk some more stuff. But again, make sure to go support and subscribe to That Surprise Witness on YouTube. Check out her Lou Taylor expose. And if you want to always watch our full streams, we're here live every weekday now, 12 Eastern Standard Time around. Sorry, it's just me. Sometimes I'm late when my kid's sick or whatever it is. But you can also hit join, become a member today. You'll support this channel, but you also get all the replays. I trim these shows to be shorter, so that way the algorithm doesn't kill me. So it takes a little while to process, but these 3-hour streams become usually 30 minutes or 15 minutes. That's how this figures. If you haven't figured it out yet, that's how it works. But the full unedited stream is always available on replays for all you amazing, beautiful members. So thank you so much for my support there. Please go support my friend now, BJ. She's so amazing. She stood up to the bad guys, to the bullies. Go support her. Go watch this. Free Britney is not over. We will have more. We're going to be live again in Los Angeles, I hope. It seems on that next date with Christopher there. So I hope you'll be able to pop in and join us again if you are, unless you get in. But she was amazingly gave us insight outside the courtroom when she came out of that last hearing, so thank you for that. But stay tuned because
I'm trying to go back in again.
Good. Was that hard to do?
Yeah, I was the last person in line, and I got there like 15 minutes after the court opened, and I was the last person that got a spot.
Good for you. Well, you got in there.
Yeah.
That was good because you did some really great content about it. So stay tuned. We got more coverage on that. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are not done, and we'll be back with more with BJ and more news here on Popcorn Planet.